We finally have a blockbuster trade. What's going on, y'all? 5 Sports Talk back at it with another video talking some NBA. And if you haven't heard, DeMarcus Cousins is on his way out of Sacramento. Yes, that's right. The Kings have finally cut ties with DeMarcus Cousins. They are trading him officially to the New Orleans Pelicans for, and I have it here. It's going to sound like a lot, but it really isn't, and I'll let you guys be the judge of that. The Kings get Buddy Hield, Tyreek Evans, Langston Galloway, a 2017 first round pick, and as well a second round pick from 2017. The crazy part, the first round pick, it's 1 to 3 protected. Wow. So the Kings couldn't even get a pick that wasn't protected, so that's kind of crazy to me. But wow, what a move. Did I think Boogie was going to get traded? I did not. I thought Sacramento was going to make their decision in the summertime. Now, DeMarcus Cousins does have 1 year left on his deal, but basically, the more the Kings felt like they were waiting for Cousins, the more they felt like his trade value might be going down. Okay, so first let's talk about the deal itself. Okay, I want to go full Stephen A. Smith mode on the Sacramento Kings right now, saying that this was a horrendous trade for Boogie Cousins. You got a bunch of role players and not even a couple first round picks, just one. But I'm not going to do that. Okay, clearly we know that this obviously is not an equal trade, and rarely when you trade superstars you're going to get equal value because there are only a handful of superstars. So everyone is going to be like, of course the Kings made a dumb trade. How can they trade Boogie for Tyreek Evans, Buddy Hield? I guess I know Buddy Hield's an up and coming player, but do I think he's got the potential of a DeMarcus Cousins? Absolutely not. And like I mentioned, you get a 2017 first round pick, but it's protected. So clearly the Pelicans won this trade. But I want you guys to pay attention to something here, and this is really what gets missed in a lot of trades here. Do you not think, and there are certain organizations that are absolutely stupid, but do you not think the Kings did scour the entire market to see what DeMarcus Cousins was worth and what teams were willing to offer? I have a hard time believing Vlade Divac, the GM of the Kings, traded DeMarcus Cousins to the Pelicans because that was the offer that they liked. No, that was probably the best offer that they got. And I know that's hard to believe, but there's a reason DeMarcus Cousins got traded, okay? The Sacramento Kings just decided they don't want to give him the max extension when he's a free agent after next season. And we're talking about committing more than $200 million to DeMarcus Cousins because we all know he would get the max money. And the Kings were just not willing to do that. And you know what? Cousins, as talented as he is, I'm not DeMarcus Cousins' biggest fan, but that's just because I think as talented as he is, he's never taken Sacramento to the playoffs. Now you could say that the team around him wasn't that great, but you know there's been other superstars that have done more with less. But the fact remains that DeMarcus Cousins is just a bottle of emotions just waiting to come out. His maturity level, it still to me lacks. And yeah, he's got all of the talent in the world, but can he be a leader? He has not really shown that. Can he take a team and lead a group of guys and be a leader of them and be that franchise player that they want to build around? It seems like a lot of time Boogie worries about himself, his numbers, and does what's best for him, not what is best for the team. And really, that's what gets lost here. Look, I am not saying this is a good trade at all. Absolutely not. I absolutely think the Kings got robbed on this deal. But the matter of fact is, I just have a hard time believing that they didn't scour the entire market. So I'm saying the Kings were going to get robbed regardless because there was not a huge market for DeMarcus Cousins, and this was the best that they got, and they took it. So am I going to blame the Kings? I mean, obviously I would have liked to see them see if they could get more. I would have preferred they hold on to DeMarcus Cousins until the end of the season. That was just me. I personally would have waited. I think it was too quick. I think they should have waited a little bit more to explore their options. But again, that's why I'm not a GM, at least yet, but we'll see. So that's what the Kings decided to do. They didn't want to commit money. That's basically what this tells me. It tells me the Kings did not want to commit $200 million to DeMarcus Cousins. They don't believe he can be that franchise player. They don't think they can trust him. And again, I'm talking about the emotions, the maturity level. DeMarcus Cousins is just, to me, he can be a head case, okay? And we've seen tons of players who are talented, but they're head cases and they just move around teams a lot. Am I saying DeMarcus Cousins is going to end up like that? No, but there's obviously a chance that could happen. You take a guy like a Terrell Owens in the NFL, mad talented, but he, broke up a lot of teams in the locker room and ended up changing teams. And so you can kind of see the parallel here. And there's a reason why the Kings didn't feel like they could trust Boogie Cousins by giving him all that money and committing that to him. So with that being said, if you look at this from the Kings' perspective, you clear out giving Cousins all that money. You get back Tyreek Evans, Langston Galloway, and Buddy Hield. Obviously, Buddy Hield's the biggest prize here. He is the best young and up-and-coming player. He could probably be part of their core. They get a 2017 first-round pick. They'll obviously use that. And another thing that went unnoticed is the reason that the Kings made this deal was because they did not want to lose their top 10 protected pick that would have gone to the Bulls if the Kings had not been inside the top 10. If they had not been inside the top 10, I think the Bulls would have gotten that pick if I got that correctly. But with that being said, these were the factors that really played into part for the Kings moving DeMarcus Cousins. Now let's quickly look at it from the Pelicans standpoint. Obviously, this deal was made with Anthony Davis in mind. Anthony Davis was getting a lot of questions in the media about his loyalty to New Orleans, and he said and reiterated that he would like to stay with the Pelicans. Now, obviously, they've made the playoffs, I think, probably once. I don't know if it's more than that in his tenure. And so they haven't been that successful, but they haven't surrounded him with a lot of talent. Now you get a chance to pair him up with a big man like Cousins, and you have a lineup of Drew Holiday, or really a big three of Drew Holiday, Cousins, and AD to build around. And then you got supporting guys like an Etuan Moore, like a Solomon Hill, like a Terrence Jones. And you can see the talent obviously getting back up to that level. And they want to show Anthony Davis that they are committed 110% to giving him a winning team to build around. So again, that's really what it comes down to, folks. The Kings just didn't feel like they could trust DeMarcus Cousins by giving him that $200 million, and so they decided to just let him go and see if they could get as much as they could get. I forgot to also throw in that they are also trading Omri Caspi to the Pelicans, so there's that, but he's just a role player. But it could be a nice play for the Pelicans, who are obviously going to need some depth with all those players that they shipped out. And the Pelicans made this move because, you know what, they want to show Anthony Davis that they're serious about building around him, and they want him to stay in New Orleans long term, and they want him to know that this is his team for the long haul. So that's basically it from both sides. Like I said, do I think the Kings got robbed? They were going to get robbed regardless of any team that they traded Boogie Cousins to. I don't believe his market was as good as people make it seem. I think the Kings did their due diligence. I'm going to give them that benefit of the doubt. And really, this is the best that they could come up with. I would have held on to him until the end of the season, but that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think the Kings got robbed? What could they have gotten for DeMarcus Cousins? Was this the right move for the Pelicans? Interesting fit, AD and Cousins. Obviously, AD is going to play at the 4, Cousins at the 5. Is there going to be enough space? You're going to have to surround them with shooters, but that's just what I think. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below, and as always, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.